Today, we're going to solve the riddle why Trump is not winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Or maybe he will, who knows? Because when you think about all these people that have won, 4 presidents have won the Nobel Peace Prize. The great Jimmy Carter, legendary, not sure what he won it for. He won it many years after he was president, by the way. They felt bad for him, nice guy. Bad president, but nice guy. Obama won after 9 months of being president. People still don't have a clue how he won Nobel Peace Prize for what? ISIS got stronger, it was chaotic all over the world, but he won. Then you have Teddy Roosevelt, and then you have Woodrow Wilson that won. 5 presidents that have been nominated, I'll give you the list. But how come Trump's not on that list? And what's the big deal about this Alfred Nobel guy? Isn't this the guy that invented dynamite? Isn't this the same guy that back in the days a French journalist wrote an article in the paper because the day Alfred Nobel's brother died, Ludwig, they thought he died, so they said the merchant of death has officially died. And he reads this article saying, wait a minute, that's how they remember me? I'm known as a merchant of death for inventing dynamite. So many people died because of this man here. He decided to change his life, change his ways, committed himself to charity. By the time he died, I think in 1900, 1901, Nobel Prize started a few years later. And then from then they started giving recognition for 5 categories. We're going to talk about all that stuff here today. If you value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. 5 categories. Ready? Physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine, literature, and peace is the one they're looking at with Trump. Now, it's been said, if you want to not win the Nobel Peace Prize, be a Republican, because it's left-leaning. A lot of people that win, they're typically on the left, even though some may say Teddy Roosevelt was a Republican. 3 out of 4 presidents that were nominated who won were all on the left. And 2 of them didn't really do much. They just kind of gave it to him, Carter and Obama, for winning it. And some even argue with Woodrow Wilson. Now, here's a few things, the controversy they have with Nobel Peace Prize. Political bias, number 1. Premature awards, what happened with Obama. Expansive definition of peace, what does it really mean? And when we look at the list of other people that have won over the years, you see Wilson, you see George C. Marshall, Martin Luther King in '64, Henry Kissinger, Mother Teresa, Mikhail Gorbachev when he brought down the wall, Nelson Mandela, Al Gore, and a few others. Of the presidents that were nominated in the States, FDR, Hoover, Nixon was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. Reagan nominated, and Donald Trump was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, the interesting thing is the president's been nominated at least 7 times that we know about. One was in 2018 by Norwegian MP Christian Tybring-Gjedde for his role in the thaw with North Korea. 2020 nominated again by Tybring-Gjedde for brokering the Abraham Accords between Israel and the UAE. 2021, he was nominated by a group of Australian parliamentarians, citing his caution in military matters. Recently, he was nominated by Bibi Netanyahu, highlighting the Abraham Accords and other peace efforts. Then the Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet for brokering a ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. Then U.S. Representative Buddy Carter for a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, though a Ukrainian lawmaker withdrew his nomination on the same day. Pakistan for the de-escalation in the Pakistan-India conflict. This sparked significant backlash and protests in Pakistan. And last but not least, Israeli-born Professor Anat Alon-Beck nominating him for 2025, citing his diplomacy and hostage release efforts. And of course, you got to add the Armenia, Azerbaijan, when you saw them shaking hands and then the signing. You would have never seen Ilya Aliyev and Pashinyan getting there talking to each other, but he brokered that deal. It's a beautiful scene. At the White House, sitting there signing, it was great. So the question is, why hasn't he won yet? He was president for 4 years, and then he was out, and then came in for 6 months, and he's been doing a lot of stuff. Is it because the peace hasn't been long enough? Well, the Iran-Israel still going on. It's not fully peace. Definitely not peace right now. Ukraine-Russia still an issue. Of course, some of the other things, but maybe when he does get the deal that he's doing on Alaska, whether Zelensky will show up or not, who knows? But let's just say they make some progress there. If I were a betting man, I think he's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And the day he does, oh my God, I can't wait to see the rage on people's faces on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, on CNN, on MSNBC, on the faces of everybody that's furious. And the reason why I think he's going to win it is the following reason. By the way, Polymarket has him at plus 450. Some is plus 13 to 2, plus 650, plus 500. You bet $100, you win $500. I think he's going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. because he's not going to slow down. Sometimes in life, the great thing about competition, to take the argument away from your opponent and your enemy, is to have so many different successes on top of each other that you don't have a choice but to do something about it. You know, a lot of these nominations, they don't disclose who it is for 50 years. So let's just say you nominated somebody for Nobel Peace Prize. We won't know that you nominated him for 50 years. They'll reveal it 50 years later, unless if you make it public. The people that do it publicly will find out about it. But I think this man is on track for winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Some people say the following, which is kind of a weird one to hear, but a lot of people believe this case as well. They say if you win a Nobel Peace Prize, you're kind of part of the establishment. And they don't give the Nobel Peace Prize to anti-establishment candidates. So if he doesn't win, it's actually a compliment at the highest level. If he does win, maybe he kind of joined the club, who knows? Or he just piles so much success that those guys are just biting their nails saying, holy shit, if we don't give it to this guy, what else can we do right now? If we gave it to Obama after 9 months and he didn't do anything, I think they're going to be forced to do something. Who knows? What do you think? Do you think he's going to get it or not? I'd love to hear from you. You can connect me directly. I actually sincerely would want to know whether you think he's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize or not. This is my Connect handle. Download the app. It's the only place where I respond to 100% of all questions people send my way. If you enjoyed this video, I got 2 other videos for you to watch. One of them is we did a full-on video on who Henry Kissinger was. Very interesting. And the other one is the Pakistan-India war. If you never saw that video, very, very interesting. Either way, if you got value, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.